I first saw live actors on stage when I was 6 or 7 years old. Entering the theater, I remember huge oak staircases and loud salesmen selling t-shirts and dusty velvet curtains. These things made me nervous, and I couldn't wait to get to my seat so I could shrink down and disappear into the folds of the chair. We were late. My mother took my arm and lightly propelled me to the crowded fire and up to the balcony. I remember everything: the sweet scent of my mother's perfume, every movement of the actors and actresses as they walked, pirouetted, or walked gracefully across the stage. I was so captivated by the performance. When it was over, I continued to sit and stare in awe at the blackness of the empty stage. It's so filled with life, beauty, and drama a few minutes before. For weeks, I stood in front of the mirror, copying each gesture, each line I could remember. I wanted so much to be like those performers. Parading across my stage, constructed of a couple of cardboard boxes and a long wooden board, I made up small plays of my own, often employing my family as an audience, and they were very patient with me. In 7th grade, I finally found the courage to audition for a dramatic performance. At the audition, a part of me wished that I could again shrink down into the safety of one of the plush seats in the audience. When I stepped up on stage, my knees began to tremble and my mouth felt dry. I had a difficult time starting to speak, afraid that if I opened my mouth, no sound would emerge. I began to read with a stutter at first, but as I continued, I felt more comfortable. I had picked up a funny accent that seemed to fit my character. The other students laughed at my performance, but not in a bad way. A week later, I ran to the drama room to see the cast list posted on the wall. And I got the part, along with the list of the cast. I rehearsed for many weeks. I had such a joyous time as rehearsals. I felt sad when they ended. Then came our first performance, and something magical happened. When I walked out on stage and saw the audience staring up at me, and when I spoke my first line, I became the character. I spoke as though I was saying those words and feeling those emotions for the first time. I was not myself that night. And I first walked out on stage and felt the heat of the light and heard my own voice. I felt as though I had come home. I felt as though I would live forever. And when I made my final exit, I was walking on air. All worries were non-existent and trouble forgotten. For I knew that as long as the stage remained, I could escape. As long as the stage remained, I would never die. Thank you.